Kung sino pa nga kako may mga pinag-aralan, sila pa yung nangungurakot ng kaban ng bayan. Alam niya naman na pwedeng itulong sa mga magsasaka, pero hindi nila ginagampanan dahil sinasarili lang nila yung mga nakukuha nilang pondo. Wala kami natanggap na fertilizer dito sa lugar namin. Yung malaking bagay yun kung talagang ipapararating nila sa magsasaka yun. Hindi na kami mangungutang doon sa mga malalaking tindahan para lang ipanggastos doon sa aming pagsasaka. Napakahirap magsaka kung halos pawis ang puhunan mo bago ka kumita ng pera. Corruption talaga. Dahil halip na maitulong nila sa amin, ay wala. Malaking pahirap talaga. Minsan hindi ko napapagbaon yung anak ko. Hindi ko napapapas.
That's under the GMA programming. Gininto ang masaganang ani. More than 10 times nawala sa farmer. Dahil napunta sa bulsa ng mga some politicians. Kaya itong ginagawa natin Pangulo Aquino na talaga nilalabanan niyang korupsyon.
Itong mga nakarang administrasyon ay na naging problema eh. If everybody will see the president is stealing, ay talagang down the line yan. Kaya yan, nire-reverse ni Noynoy. Malaking bagay pagka yung number 1 eh, hindi nagnanakaw eh. And to me, talagang Noynoy, non-lying, non-cheating, non-stealing president.
Alam mo, nakakalimutan ng tao eh. When we look back at 2010, before that election, siguro maski na kayo iniisip nyo, alam mo, wala na siguro pag-asa itong Pilipinas na ito to remove corruption. Parang it's a way of life. Parang sanayan na eh. Parang ganun na eh. Maski na yung mga hindi corrupt, napipilitan na sila sa sabihin, anyway, sige, maglagay ka dyan. Total, lahat naman naglalagay, di ba? So parang yun na yung kultura eh. Tapos nung dumating siya sa kasabihin niya, oy, palitan natin yan. We do not have to accept that this is a society where we can lessen corruption. Di ba? Maraming siya, parang hindi naniwala sa umpisa eh. Pero unti-unti nakita mo, naniniwala na.
Well, ang pinakamalaga dyan talagang walang sinasanto. Dahil nakikita natin na yung PDAF, kina yung mga senador o congressman o mayors, kinakasuhan.
This administration stands up to even its allies as far as expenditure is concerned. Pati yung mga kakampi, pag mali ang mga PDAF. Si Bong Revilla, he voted for the impeachment. Diba? Is he getting any special treatment or favor? None.
Pag yung number 1 ay hindi magnanakaw, doon lang alaking savings na eh. Pero yung ba eh hanggang sa baba, yan ang problema dahil ang makikita mo sa dyaryo, prosecute, pakulong. It's not going to solve the problem. You have to lay down the economic foundation of honesty.
Why is it that the poor many times remain poor? It's a really education, quality education for the poor that will give them the opportunity to break that cycle of poverty. I think this reform in education is again going to be one of his greatest legacy. Your child can now go to a classroom where they have desks, where they have 12 years of education. And then the fact that he has made transparency and accountability now a fact in government. Why is it that there is economic growth? Because business is expanding. Why is business expanding? Because the legitimate business is happier now. Because now, they know they can compete. Dati kasi, mas magaling ka, kung mas malakas yung kalaban mo, talo ka eh. Ngayon, alam nila, pantayan labanan eh. So, if I'm a legitimate business, laban tayo. Kasi there is now a level playing field.
Sa ngayon, kinikilala na tayo ng mundo bilang modelo ng mabuting pamamahala. Kung magpapatuloy tayo sa inyong pakikiambag ay kikilalanin tayo bilang ehemplo ng malawakang kaunlaran.
When you talk of governance, you're talking of transparency, accountability, effectiveness, responsiveness, saka yung rule of law. And what is transparency? That means alam natin who is accountable for everything that happens. Because we need to make sure that those who are not doing what they're supposed to do should be punished.
Never ever underestimate good moral leadership. The president requires us to be transparent. We have to build trust, and part of building trust, other than the personalities, is to actually embed transparency in our transactions. That is why for the longest time, BBM have been publishing the budget in its website. In fact, in 2013, as soon as we submit the NEP, the National Expenditure Program, a few minutes after, it has been uploaded for everyone to see. Everyone meaning opposition, academe, civil society.
Ngayon, if I want to know what is the budget for this, what is the budget for that, I can find that out. Dati hindi, nakatago eh. Ang bidding sa private sector, open. That is what they're now instituting, I can see in the government. Open bidding.
For the last 2 years, we have been trying to experiment on actually going to the local level and asking the citizens, what exactly is it that you want funded? But it's not so much that we go and ask them, it's really changing the mindset so that the budget can truly reflect the aspirational expenditure of the common folk. The real story is when you actually go to those barangays that we actually went through and ask for water and now has water because the system worked.
Yung bottom-up budgeting is yun ang approach na kung saan nanggaling talaga sa baba yung pagpaplano, kung paano sasagutin yung problema ng mga communities. Aside from the plan, may talagang nakatokang budget for mga proposed projects nila. Sila mismo nag-usap-usap kung anong pressing problems and issues nila regarding their sectors, at saka sila rin ang mag-identify anong magiging intervention nila. May bibigay akong example like the mushroom production dito sa Habonga. Dahil nga sa problema ng poverty, naisip nila na kailangan nila ng isang livelihood program. So ginawa nila itong isang proposal na merong 35 members sila, and nag-propose sila na more or less 810,000 for this mushroom production. Ang kasama dun sa 810,000 is yung building mismo, yung processing center nila, at saka yung materials ng mushrooms na ipoproduce nila.
Dako naman kalipay. Sa among pagkaingon na ini, no? Gitagaan kami o poder. Sa higayunan na kami makabangon sa mga negosyo.
Totoo po na may good governance dun sa bottom-up budgeting. Napapalakas yung community empowerment. Kasi nga, hindi tayo ang nagdidikta dun sa mga tao. Kasali sila dun sa pagplano, kasama sa diskusyon.
When we look at President Aquino, what did we really expect from him? Number one, the Philippines was not growing economically because there are obstacles. Unang-una, corruption, di ba? This was his job to remove all those obstacles, which he has been doing. Pagkatapos nun, dapat tayong Pilipino, tayo nang bahala sa sarili natin kasi di naman niya magagawa yung dapat nating gawin.
Tinanong ko kayo, Boss, tama ba ang direksyon natin? Ang tugon ninyo, tama, at pabilisin pa natin ang transformasyon ng lipunan. Tama, ituloy natin, damihan pa natin ang 8,581 na sityong napailawan. Dagdagan pa natin ang 28,378 na pamilyang dati informal sector, ngunit ngayon ay mayroon na o magkakaroon na ng disenteng tirahan. Palaguin pa natin ang di bababa sa 40 bilyong piso kada taong dagdag ng perang napupunta sa edukasyon, kalusugan, serbisyong panlipunan at marami pang iba. Mahaba pa ang ating lalakbayin. At hindi natin kailanman sinabing madali o walang mga hadlang sa landas na ito. Subalit wala akong duda sa kakayahan nating lampasan ang anumang barikada. Hindi tsamba ang mga tagumpay na tinatamasa natin ngayon. Huwag tayong papayag na maging panandalian lamang ang transformasyon. Samantalahin natin ang pagkakataon upang gawing permanente ang pagbabago.